Hi there. Okay. Now, as most of you know, I'm a long-winded windbag. And I have decided to tell you the story of my life on dialysis. And I'm trying to figure out how I can do this I can't do it in a 10-minute video. So maybe it'll be a 20-minute video and I'll do it in two parts because it's kind of complicated. So, here goes. In the past few weeks, I've gotten a few messages in my private inbox from concerned subscribers saying, Susie, are you okay? I haven't seen a video. Or what's it like being on dialysis? What does that mean? And blah, blah, blah. And so I just want to let everybody out there. I think also this is a video that must be done to bring awareness to people about the problems of being a dialysis patient, not just for myself, but for the many thousands of us who suffer from the way we have to live, being a dialysis patient. And I was asked by one of the wives of the patients in my dialysis group, who knows that I do this channel, and she's very supportive, which is great because I don't have a lot of support from anybody in my family doing YouTube videos. They basically think I'm nuts. They can't understand why I'm doing it. Well, I have two sons. They're not really into makeup. My grandkids like it because they love to see their Nana on YouTube. But my sister, she's a great sister, but she thinks I'm crazy because I'm wearing makeup and everything at my age. She doesn't understand it, and especially since I'm on dialysis. And she can't figure out why I go into the hospital Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays all gussied up with makeup on. But this is nothing new because I've worn makeup all my life, and I keep trying to tell her this, but it doesn't seem to get across. And see, I don't know if... Okay, I'm going to tell you straight out. I'm on dialysis, my sister is on dialysis, and my kid brother is on dialysis. And we all started basically on dialysis around the same time. My brother and I started about 3.5 years ago, and my sister started about 3 years ago. She got on dialysis, and then she was taken off dialysis. So there's been quite an upheaval in my family, and things have never been the same since, because we went from being a normal everyday family to having 3 people very, very ill, and all of us went through crises where we were in intensive care. I think the 3 of us came very, very close to, well, I know I did, and I know my sister, the 3 of us came very, very close to dying, and we each have our own journey, but I'm here to tell you about mine. So my journey with kidney disease started in 1991 when I was working for a doctor. Walked into his room one day, said, "Hey doc," and I said, "I'm not feeling too hot. I just really don't think I can see any patients this afternoon." And I basically slid down his wall, and he got me packed into his little red sports car, zoomed me off to the hospital where I go for my dialysis now. I was packed in ice, and this began my journey into the wonderful world of kidney disease. The reason I was asked to do this video, and one of the reasons I want to do this video, is because people are always talking about cancer, diabetes, MS. There's all kinds of telethons, walkathons, marathons, and everything. And you don't see that much for kidney disease. And one of the things I would really, really like you people to think about is when it comes to donations, and when your time is up, if you would have a heart and give a kidney, because it can make a lot of people's lives the same as yours. They could live a normal life, because with one kidney you are able to live a normal life. Without any kidneys, you're not able to live a normal life. And so when I say I'm not here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Monday morning I get up and go, ugh. Monday's the worst. Monday, oh God, I gotta go to dialysis. Wednesday, I get up. I got to go to dialysis. Friday, I get up. I got to go to dialysis. And it's just like going to work. I leave here around 10. Sometimes I get home at 6. Sometimes I get home at 5:30. It's a whole day process, even though I'm on the machine for about 4 hours, and all in all, 4 hours and 15 minutes. And I'm not going to go into the gruesome details of what it's like to be on the machine, but it's not pleasant. It's not painful, but there's all kinds of complications that can happen when you're on dialysis. And there's a saying that people don't die from dialysis, they die from complications. Because when your kidneys are, as mine are, they're dead, they're just about, maybe I have 3% of kidney function. I'm just looking to see if I'm on here. You can't pee properly. You can't eat properly. Salt is an absolute no-no. You cannot touch salt. That's an enemy. A lot of people that start off that end up in dialysis, it's because of high blood pressure. So I beg all of you to please take care of your blood pressure, and please don't eat a lot of salt. There is so much salt in the foods we eat, and I was a person that ate a lot of processed food. I can't touch it now. I haven't been able to touch it for 3.5 years, and if I do, I pay the price. So basically, anything that's good for you is bad for us. Salads. I love salads. I've lost a lot of weight. I haven't lost a lot of weight because I've been eating a lot of salads. Can't eat a lot of salads because vegetables have all these nutritious things in them for a dialysis patient. Because we don't have kidneys to process whatever's in the vegetables and fruit and everything else, these great like potassium and things like that, they turn very toxic in our body and can kill us. So everything we eat has to be very, very measured, but every dialysis patient is different. For example, my sister is diabetic, and she's on a totally different regimen than I am. I'm not diabetic. My kid brother is diabetic. He's on a totally different regimen, and he does home dialysis, which is another thing altogether. If you are able to do home dialysis, it's much easier in a way, but he suffers terribly because you do it every night when you're sleeping. And he's very lucky. He's got a very supportive wife, and she's taking great care of him, and so he doesn't have to leave the house. He did go to the hospital for a while. On the other hand, my sister and I, we both have to go to the hospital every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we can't eat properly, and being one that had a weight problem for many, many years, the last thing that's on my mind right now is food. Food! This has been the best diet in the world for me. But the one thing I really miss is drinking. Oh my God, do I miss drinking. I go around hallucinating about jugs of ice water. It's worse in the summer when you see commercials with all the condensation coming down, and you're just dying for something wet. But you can't have any fluids. You can't have more than let's say a liter of fluid, and that's not a lot of, this right here is about how much fluid I'm allowed to have a day, plus a cup of tea. And that's not a lot for somebody that used to drink about 10 cups of tea a day. And if we drink too much, well, we can drown our heart or drown our lungs, which has happened to me. And I ended up in intensive care, and I almost died. And I had to be coded, and that's when I went on to dialysis. But before I went on to dialysis, I was really, really sick. My legs were huge and puffed up and purple. My face was all puffed up and purple. I fell out of bed once, and I was on the floor for 18 years. Not 18 years. That would be like Sleeping Beauty. I was on the floor for 18 hours, and I finally got rescued. And that was a horror story because it's very personal. I'm not going to go into it, but it was a terrible experience because dialysis patients don't pee-pee the way you guys do, or the way I used to. we just sort of tinkle every once in a while. And that's one of the big problems. We go to dialysis to have these machines clean out our blood. We have like an imitation kidney on the machine, which is full of filters. We have bicarbonate liquid, which goes into the machine from the bottom. And we have I have a catheter here, which is connected to my artery in my neck going to my heart. And I have something called a catheter, and it's got two things. And if I undid the two little stoppers on the catheter, I would just start hemorrhaging and I would be dead on the floor. So that's another fear that you live with, is that something's going to open one of your catheter tubes and you're going to bleed to death. And if that happens, we just have to call an ambulance. So there's a lot of fear involved with being a dialysis patient. But the funniest thing is that when I was younger, in my younger life, I was riddled with phobias and fears and, oh my God, everything. And I know a lot of that came from childhood sexual abuse problems, having an anxiety disorder, suffering from depression, and recovering from alcoholism, which I think I became an alcoholic. I don't know if I was born to become an alcoholic. I became an alcoholic to rid myself of all of the demons that were sort of chasing me in my life. But now, and it's going to be my birthday in a few days, now, as strange as it may seem, with this crazy life I'm living, I'm in stage 4 of kidney renal failure, which means basically that I'm terminal. But I could live for 10 years, I could live for 2 weeks, I could live for 3 years, none of us know. But I'm at a really, really good spot in my life. And what I mean by that is, no, I'm not religious and I'm resigned to die, nothing like that. I wish that was the case. I wish I was a religious person. I'm not a non-religious person, I'm just spiritual, and I don't have a clue, really. And I'm not looking forward to I don't want to leave right now. I'm having too much fun in my own little way. But I just want to tell you that I'm at a really good place in my life. I guess it's because the worst things in my life are over. All the emotions that go with being in love and having somebody else to care for and to nurture and to whatever, or all the things that go along with having a partner. I don't have those problems anymore. I just have my 2 cats and my 2 sons who are very busy in their own lives, and I have 5 beautiful grandchildren. And I don't get to see them that often because apart from being on dialysis, I have crippling arthritis. And that has nothing to do with dialysis. That just makes it a double whammy for me. Excuse me. That's what makes it really hard for me to get around. So when you're in a lot of pain like I am, and I know a lot of other women out there are in a lot of pain, and then you have to go to dialysis, and then when you finish dialysis, the pain is worse, and then you come home and you feel like you've been hit by a train. So let's just say that Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are not that great a day for me. But there is another part to it, and the other part is it's a good part, because if I didn't go to dialysis 3.5 years ago, I wouldn't be here. I would have kicked the bucket. I wouldn't have a bucket list. I'd be pushing because I don't want to be buried. I'd be flying in the wind with the flowers, whatever. But I wouldn't be here. So that's what I am going through right now, and I'm wondering how many birthdays I do have left, and yet at the same time, there's no fear. There's no fear. I've seen so many people since I started 3.5 years ago. A lot of my friends have passed away in dialysis, and they never let you know. You just go into dialysis, and you notice that there's somebody not sitting in the chair, and nobody says anything, and then a couple of days goes by and you might hear that they're in the hospital, or you might hear that they're over in the next building, palliative care, or someone just comes up when you ask and says they're gone. So it becomes almost like it's awful. It's like you don't become immune to it, but it's almost like to be expected, and it's really shocking when it's somebody young. Well, I guess it's shocking because we're like a family there too, just like we're a family here on YouTube. We're like a family at the hospital. There's 9 or 10 of us, and we go there and we laugh and we giggle, and we all love each other, and we talk before we go on the machines. We talk. We don't really talk during the process because we're all sort of in a little circle and not really around each other. But people come around, visit us, and everything else. And like I said, it's not painful. It's not painful. It's just a very, very hard way to live. And there's always this thing hanging over your head that, oh my God, what if the transport doesn't show up? What if I can't get to dialysis? Because if you don't get to dialysis a couple times, well, you're gone. So it's sort of like living life in the fast lane, but in the slow lane, if you know what I mean. It makes you take life not for granted, but it makes every day such a precious, precious day. And it makes you have a really good, hard look at yourself. And it makes you have a really hard look at other people, and to decide which people are worth your friendship. If they're not there for you. No. If you've had problems with people in your life and you're at this point in your life, it makes you look at people who are always coming on to you very negatively, or who always want something out of you and they don't want to give anything in return. It's a real awakening. It's a real awakening. Anyway, so that's why I'm not here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And as I said, I could live another 10 years. I could live another 3 years. I could be gone next week. I never know. But don't worry about me, because sometimes if I'm not doing a video for a few days, the one big side effect from dialysis is fatigue. And the other thing is, they say that if you have a transplant, the first thing that happens when you have a transplant is the pink comes back into your cheeks. Because when you're on dialysis, you basically don't have a lot of color in your face. Because as your heart pumps blood, well, your heart and your kidney are very, very closely, they're connected. And I have no swelling of my legs. I wish I could stand up and show you my outfit of the day. I could stand up, except this stupid webcam won't show you my outfit of the day. But I'm just wearing jeans and a top. So I'm in a really happy place in my life. And I just wanted to share this with you, because some people have come on and shared about their problems and different things they're going through. And I want to share this and let you know what's going on in my life behind the scenes. And apart from that, and the other thing is, the winter is really murder, because like a lot of dialysis patients or other just people who are immobile, I'm a prisoner in the winter. I'm dying to get a little camera. And as soon as the weather gets nice, you guys are going to go vlogging with me on my scooter. I'm going to take you down to the Lachine Canal. I'm going to show you all the wonderful things around where I live. I'm going to take you on the bus with me on the way to the hospital. I'm going to try to sneak you into the hospital with me. I can't sneak you into the dialysis room, but I'm sure there's a lot of my dialysis friends who will let me put them on the vlog, because you're not going to know who they are, and you'll see the fun that we do have at dialysis before we get started. And once you get up and once you get dressed and once I put my makeup on and I'm out the door, I just figured, it's almost over, and 2 hours goes by, I'm halfway through, 4 hours has gone by, and then I just can't wait to get home. And so every time I come home, it's amazing. And every weekend, it's like, I swear it's like Christmas, because I've got 2 days off. So that's what I mean when I say I have a day off. So I want to thank you all for listening, and I want you all to please don't eat a lot of salt. Take care of your blood pressure. Please think about donating a kidney. not if you're well and healthy, but if anybody you know is on dialysis and they need a kidney, you can live with one kidney. And I myself can't have a kidney transplant. It's too complicated. But there's a lot of people out there, and I've seen many people who have had transplants. One day they're on dialysis, next day they get a phone call and they've got a kidney, and it's the most amazing thing to see. And you're giving somebody back their life. So please give somebody back their life. Think about donating a kidney or 2 kidneys. Think about your donation card, and you will, because in our group we have one little gal, I think she's 23 or 24, and her whole family has got slam dunked with dialysis, and she's of another nationality, and they're finding it very hard to find a kidney for her. And everybody talks badly about her, but I just feel so bad because she acts like a little queen, but she's 23 or 24 or whatever. And the thought of living like that when you're that age, it's awful. So just think about it, please. I know that there's not a lot you can do for cancer patients or other diseases, but with people that are on dialysis, with people in the 4th stage of renal failure, you can help. You can donate a kidney and it won't hurt you at all, and you can give somebody life. So I'm asking you to think very strongly about this, and if the opportunity ever comes up, please don't say no, say yes, and you're going to feel better, and you're going to give somebody else the opportunity to live a normal life and not to go through what we have to go through. And I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And I want to thank you all for listening, and I want to let my subscribers know you don't have to keep writing me. I realize that you're worried, but I'm fine. And believe me, if I'm not fine, if you don't see me for a week or 2, then you'll know something's wrong. Okay? So anyway, sorry this was kind of a morbid video, but I really, really have been wanting to do this, and so I'm going to finish off now, and I hope you all have a great day. And tomorrow's Friday, and then there's a weekend again, and yahoo! So have a great weekend. I will see you soon on another video, and hopefully it'll be one about makeup or something, hair. It will be cooking one of these days when I can get my camera and get into the kitchen and show you what a great cook I am. So take care, everybody. Love you. Bye.